Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky! Look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, mighty visitor from another world, who came to Earth when the planet Krypton was destroyed by quakes and explosions. Superman, who can twist steel in his bare hands, leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target. Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who mingles with ordinary men disguised as Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. For some time, Editor Perry White of the Daily Planet has been promising Clark Kent a vacation. So when Major Evans Dover, noted explorer and archaeologist, invited the young reporter to accompany him on an expedition to uncover further Mayan ruins in Central America, Editor White told Kent to go along and to consider the trip as a holiday. As our story opens today, Major Dover and Kent are flying southward in a big amphibian plane piloted by Jack Corboy, Dover's pilot. Below them, a wild river winds its way through the dense jungle of Central America. Listen.
Well, Kent, we're pretty close to our destination.
Hardly seems any time at all since we took off, Major. Now we're over Central America.
That's right. All we have to do now is follow the course of that river below, and we'll come to the native village, where we make camp. How far is it, Jack?
I seem to remember it's about 5 minutes flying time from that river bend directly below us, Major.
Oh, then you've both been down here before.
Yes. Corboy was with me my last trip. He's a seasoned explorer by now.
I may be seasoned, but I'll never get over that creepy feeling I have when those natives suddenly appear out of nowhere beside you or behind you.
Listen to him, Kent. He's been flying for 20 years, and yet he still gets creepy feelings.
I always know what my plane's going to do. That's more than you can say about those natives. No, sir, I don't trust any of them.
Well, this time, Jack, you can spend most of your time with the ship. I've got Kent to help me now.
I imagine it's pretty exciting, Major. Digging around among ruins thousands of years old.
Yes, it is, Kent. You can uncover some mighty strange and amazing things. You see, the Mayas developed one of the oldest and most advanced civilizations in this part of the world.
Their descendants sure have forgotten a lot of things, then.
Are there Mayas in this village where we're making camp?
A branch of that race, yes. But as Corboy hinted, they're not nearly as civilized as their ancestors were. As a matter of fact, they can be a pretty vicious lot.
Say, they're not cannibals, are they?
Oh, no. I guess they used to be headhunters. But since white expeditions have been coming to this part of the country, they've tamed down a lot. In fact, some of the more intelligent of the natives speak a sort of broken English.
But you've got to keep a sharp eye on them all the time, Mr. Kent.
Do they object to explorers investigating the ruins, Major?
No. Not as long as we keep away from their sacred temples.
I see.
As a matter of fact, they're rather interested in seeing what we dig up.
But the minute you start monkeying around with their pet gods and goddesses, look out.
Oh, I imagine, then, that you don't tackle any of the sacred temples, eh?
Well, I'm mainly interested in Mayan art and records and, well, you know, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
What was the cause of the trouble you had with that native high priest the last time we were down, Major?
Oh, I guess he thought I hadn't given him as valuable presents as I gave the chief of the tribe. But I'll make up for it this time. I brought along plenty of needles and bright-colored cloth and tobacco, so we should get a royal welcome.
I sure hope so, because I've promised my editor a series of stories on this Mayan country. I'd hate to have to pull out before I got the material.
Oh, we won't have any trouble, Kent. If we should decide to have a look at any of their sacred temples, we'll be very cautious about it.
There's the village up ahead, Major.
By George, that's right. Look over there, Kent. You can see the tops of one or two of the highest temples rising above the trees.
Where?
Ahead and to the left, you see?
Oh, yes, I see them. Is that smoke coming from the native village?
Yes, we'll land on the river, then moor the plane to a tree on the bank.
I suppose we'll make camp as soon as we land.
No, the first thing we'll do is pay our respects to the chief of the tribe and distribute gifts.
Oh.
I hope that old fire-eater Kamado has passed on to his ancestors.
Corboy means the high priest, and I must say I agree with him. But I'm counting on Tasso still being chief. He was very friendly.
Oh, what do you do, Major? Hire natives to help you with your excavations?
Yes, I give them each a yard of colored cloth a day, and they work themselves to the bone for me.
When will we start excavating?
Oh, not till tomorrow. Today we'll visit the chief, arrange for native labor, and set up our camp. Then I'll take you out among the ruins to have a look round.
Well, that'll be fine, Major. I'm mighty anxious to see them.
Hang on, men. We're to circle for a landing.
My golly, this looks like it's going to be an adventure.
Late that same afternoon, as the orange disk of a blazing sun meets the horizon, Kent and Major Dover make their way along a narrow jungle path to the Mayan ruins near the native village.
Oh, careful, Kent. Those vines will trip you up if you don't watch your step.
Oh, this is really a jungle we're traveling through, Major. I never saw such dense underbrush.
Yes.
And the trees, why, you can't even see the sky.
Well, we'll be out of it and among the ruins in a little while.
Say, that high priest seemed pretty unfriendly, didn't he?
Yes. I'm sure if Kamado had his way, we wouldn't have received any native help at all. Look, I might as well warn you now, Kent. We'll have to watch out for that high priest, Kamado. He's evidently got it in for me.
I'll watch him carefully, Major.
Now, look ahead of you, boy.
Oh, what a sight.
There you are, Kent. You're looking at the ancient Mayan city of Apakapo.
Good heavens, I had no idea it would be like this. And say, some of those buildings don't look like ruins at all.
That's right. Perfect state of preservation. Look at that temple over there to your right.
Oh, Major, that thing must be at least 100 feet high.
That's the Temple of Warriors. Come on, we'll get a better look at it.
You mean to say that's been excavated?
No, not entirely. You see, it was built on a sort of pyramid, the top of which has been cut off.
Oh, one building built on another, eh?
Yes. It's the buildings underneath that we scientists are interested in now.
Uh-huh.
Here. Yeah, if you look closely, you can see some of the Mayan inscriptions.
Oh.
There's the serpent symbol, and there's a...
Major Dover, look out!
Oh, King!
Dover! Major Dover! Oh, he's out. Completely out. I guess I shoved him too hard. He must have hit his head against the temple. But that huge stone didn't fall by accident. And there's another! There must be somebody on top of this temple who's deliberately trying to kill us.
I think it's time Superman took a hand. Dover will be unconscious long enough for me to investigate at the top of the temple. Up! Up! And away! Yes, there's the native on the roof. He's getting set to roll another stone down. Ah, he sees me. Too late, my friend. Down to the roof. Down! Down! Here, you. Don't try to run away. Oh, you want to fight, do you? All right, how's this? Oh, no. You don't get away. I want to talk to you.
No, great white bird. No harm.
I won't hurt you if you talk. Why did you try to kill us? Who told you to push those stones down on us?
Kimano say, kill.
The high priest, eh? Why does he want us killed?
No, tell.
Oh, yes, you will, or I'll...
No, Kimano.
What about Kamado?
Kimano say, you come take Goddess Ashta. Kimano say, Goddess Ashta is...
Poison dart. It killed him instantly. Poor devil, he was just about to tell me something important. Well, we'll go after that dart thrower.
Ken!
Oh, that's Major Dover. He's come to. No time now to catch that dart thrower. I've got to get back before Dover sees me. Down the other side of the temple. Down!
Kent, where are you? Kent!
Here I am, Major Dover. Are you all right?
What happened? Where have you been, Kent?
Well, there was a native on top of this temple hurling huge stones down on us. I saw the first one coming down, and I shoved you aside just in time. But as you fell, you struck your head on the temple wall, and it knocked you out.
You say a native hurled stones down on us?
Yes, deliberately.
Well, how do you know?
Well, I saw him. I ran around to the other side of the temple and caught him just as he came out.
Could you get anything out of him?
Yes, I made him talk.
What did he say?
He babbled something about the high priest ordering him to kill us.
So Kamado does know.
Kamado? Knows what, Major?
Huh? Oh, nothing. Where is the native?
Well, he was killed as I was talking to him, poor fellow. A poison dart came out of nowhere and got him in the back.
Yes, we've got to look out for things like that. The natives have a sort of a stick called a husha, with which they can throw poison darts with amazing accuracy. Yes.
Major Dover, Why should the high priest want to kill us?
Well, I haven't any idea, but we appear to be in serious danger, Kent.
But danger from what? We haven't done anything.
Well, that is, it puzzles me, too.
Major, who or what is the goddess Ashta?
Goddess Ashta?
Yes.
What do you know about the goddess Ashta, Kent?
Oh, nothing. Why are you so excited, Major?
Where did you hear of the goddess Ashta?
Well, the native I caught mumbled something about Kimado, the high priest, saying that you had come to take away the goddess Ashta.
Look here, Kent. Might as well tell you the truth.
The truth?
Yes. I told you I'd come down here to uncover further Mayan ruins. But that's not the entire purpose of this expedition.
What do you mean?
I asked you to come along with me because I needed a resourceful young man. One who wouldn't be afraid to meet danger.
Major, you're talking in riddles.
Kent, I'm down here after one of the most amazing and unbelievable wonders of the modern world.
What's that got to do with this goddess Ashta?
Well, let's get back to camp first, and I'll tell you. Every minute among these ruins is dangerous.
Yes, I'm beginning to believe that.
I'll tell you this much now, Kent. If we're successful, we'll both become world famous. But death will be lurking behind every jungle tree, around the corner of every temple and building as long as we're here.
Great Scott, Major, what is all this?
It's a gigantic gamble, Kent. The stakes are fame or death. Come on.
What is this amazing and unbelievable thing Major Dover is seeking among the Mayan ruins of Central America? Why is the search so dangerous, and why should death be the penalty for failure? What lies ahead for Clark Kent? Tune in next time and follow this exciting story of perilous jungle adventure with Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, valiant fighter for truth and justice, whose unbelievable strength is far beyond that of mortal men. Superman, who wages a constant fight against crime and oppression, disguised as mild-mannered Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. On a vacation trip, Kent flew down to Central America with Major Evans Dover, noted explorer and archaeologist, and Jack Corboy, the Major's pilot, to uncover further ruins of an ancient Mayan city deep in the jungle. After paying their respects to Tasso, the chief, and Kimado, the high priest of the native tribe whose village adjoins the ruins, Dover and Kent set up camp and then went out to inspect the half-buried city. While they were examining a temple, a heavy stone was hurled down on them, knocking Dover unconscious. Kent, changing to Superman, caught the native who had dislodged the stone and forced him to confess that Kimado, high priest of the tribe, had ordered the death of the two white men who had come in search of the goddess Ashta. When Dover regained consciousness, Kent asked him about the goddess. Greatly excited, Dover promised to tell Kent the amazing secret of Ashta when they reached camp. As we join them now, they have just gained the clearing where their tents are pitched. Jack Corboy, the pilot, is coming toward them. Listen.
I wonder what Corboy's doing up here, Kent.
I thought he was supposed to stay with the plane.
Yeah, so did I. What's the matter, Jack?
Hey, where did you two go? I've been waiting for you almost an hour.
I was showing Kent some of the temples, and we didn't realize how long we'd been.
The chief wants to see you, Major.
Tesso? What does he want?
I don't know. A native boy brought the message just after I got here. Said you were to go to the village and see Tasso.
You suppose something's wrong, Major?
No, the old codger probably wants to wheedle some more gifts out of me. But he'll have to wait. Listen, I've got something important to tell you two.
The way you say that, I smell trouble.
Let's sit down here in front of my tent. I'm going to tell you the most astounding thing you ever heard.
Wait till I pull this log around so we can sit on it.
Look out, Kent.
Right, look.
What's the matter?
Good Lord, man. There was a tarantula as big as a silver dollar right on the end of that log where you were going to grab it.
I forgot to warn you about that sort of thing, Kent. In the jungle, you have to examine everything very carefully before you touch it.
Yes, I see that now. Thanks a lot, Corboy.
Forget it.
Now, listen, you two. What I'm going to tell you must never be mentioned in the hearing of any of the natives if you'll value your lives.
I knew it. Funny business.
You know this, Corboy, but Kent doesn't. The ruling deity of this tribe is the goddess Ashtar.
A woman?
No, a mummy.
Ashtar was one of the last of the ancient Mayan princesses, Kent, and ruled this city centuries ago. When she died, her body was placed in one of the temples.
The one we were looking at today?
No. Where she's kept is one of the Mayan secrets, one we've got to find out.
If you live long enough.
For hundreds of years, the remains of the Princess Ashtar have been worshipped as a goddess by the natives. But instead of being a dried-up mummy, her body is in a perfect state of preservation.
Say, you never told me that.
How do you mean, Major?
I mean that her hair and skin and features are like those of a living person, one who is merely asleep, instead of one who has been dead for centuries.
But that's impossible.
It sounds impossible, Kent, but don't forget that the ancients knew a lot of embalming tricks that we know nothing about. At any rate, the goddess Ashtar...
Hold it, Major.
What is it, Jack?
Somebody's crawling through the tall grass behind you.
Good heavens. If Kamaro's had a native spying on us and he's overheard what I've been telling you, our goose is cooked.
Whoever it is getting away.
Oh, we'll fix that.
Sounds like you got him, Corboy.
Jack, you shouldn't have fired without investigating. Killing a native, even if he was spying on us, is going to put us in a tough spot.
It's too late to think about that now. Come on, we'll have a look at the beggar.
All right.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Is he dead?
It's a huge owl.
I'd have sworn it was a human being trying to sneak up on us.
Well, the joke's certainly on you, Corboy.
It's not the joke you think it is, Kent. The mayors regard the owl as a sacred bird, guardian of the dead. Killing an owl is almost as grave an offense as killing one of his native priests.
You mean that?
Yes. You'd better leave it where it is behind that bush and hope it won't be discovered. Come on, let's get back to the tent quickly.
Well, tell us more about this lifelike mummy of the goddess Ashtar, Major. How did you discover all this?
You ever heard of Mitchell, the British explorer?
Well, didn't he die in New York about 8 months ago?
Yes. Well, just before he passed away, he sent for me and told me about Ashtar. He got the story from a native whose life he'd saved.
It sounds to me like old Mitchell dreamed up that story. It doesn't make sense.
He swore it was the truth. He was planning to come back here to get Ashtar when he was taken suddenly ill and died.
Didn't he tell you where the mummy is? What temple it's in?
He tried to, but he was too far gone. He repeated the word crocodile 2 or 3 times, and then the end came.
Well, is there a crocodile temple around here?
Not that I know of. But I'm going to find out which temple Ashtar is in, and then we're going to get her out somehow and bring her back to civilization.
Major, that's courting sure death, and you know it.
Oh, nonsense. I'm certain Kent and I can outsmart any of these natives, including the priests. And if we can lay our hands on the mortal remains of Ashtar, we're not only famous, but we'll make a fortune. However, we've got to be extremely cautious.
Well, it sure is worth a try, Major, and I'm with you.
Oh, I am too, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Look, Kent, you'd better stay here in camp while I go over to the village and see what the chief wants.
Okay.
I shouldn't be gone more than an hour. Are you going back to the plane, Jack?
Yeah, I'd better keep an eye on our only means of getting out of this place. It'll come in mighty handy if things get too hot.
All right, come on. See you later, Kent.
1 hour passes. 2 hours. 3. Off in the blackness of the jungle, weird animal cries break the stillness of the night. Clark Kent, asleep on a canvas cot inside his tent, is suddenly awakened by shouts.
Over.
Hello? Corboy?
That you, Kent?
Yes, what's up?
Is the Major here?
Oh, I suppose so. I've been asleep. Look in his tent.
He's not there.
Oh, where do you suppose he is?
Something's happened to him.
What makes you think that?
A little while ago, old Tasso, the chief, came down to the bank where the plane is moored. He was looking for the Major.
You mean to say the Major never showed up at the chief's hut after leaving here?
Yes, not. Left him at the edge of the clearing and went on down to the river. When I last saw him, he was headed for the village.
Wait a minute. Did the chief send for him?
Yes, and when the Major didn't show up, Tasso thought he was on the plane.
You don't suppose the Major suddenly decided to go scouting around among the ruins looking for Ashtar's temple, do you?
Why, Georgie, he might have at that.
He's so excited about that mummy, he's apt to do anything.
And if you ask me, I think he's crazy. You can't make me believe that... Oh, what's that?
Don't shoot. Friend. Don't shoot, Corboy. It's a native.
See what I told you about these birds sneaking up on you? Come over here.
Friend.
What do you want?
Bring word. White Chief.
Does he mean Major Dover?
Yes. What about White Chief?
Quemado got down deep.
Quemado. That's the high priest, isn't it?
Yes, he's grabbed the Major. Where is he? Hey, what's it?
What? The natives disappeared.
He can't be far away. I'll get him.
Corboy, wait a minute. You'll never catch him in the dark.
But what do we do? Dover's life isn't worth a plug nickel if the high priest got him.
That native said Quemado's got the Major down deep. Do you know what he meant?
The only thing I can figure he meant is down in the earth.
Exactly. And that must mean one of the half-buried buildings some of the temples are built on.
That's a good guess, but which one? There's dozens of them.
Corboy, I've got a hunch, and I'm going to follow it. In the meantime, you go back to the plane.
No, I'll stick with you. You couldn't do anything alone in the jungle. You get lost in 2 minutes.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not as inexperienced as you think. Besides, you ought to be on hand to guard the plane in case of an attack.
That's right. What are you going to do?
Well, you get back to the plane. I'll tell you more later.
Okay, but I think you're crazy to try it alone.
Oh, don't worry. I can take care of myself. And I'll come back to the plane as quickly as I can.
All right, I'm on my way.
Good luck. Thanks.
There. Now that I've gotten rid of Corboy, Superman can get to work. I'll fly over the ruins and locate the temple where they're holding Dover. Up! Up! And away! Faster! Faster! Here we are over the ruins. There's the Temple of the Warriors. I wonder if my hunch was right. My supervision certainly is helpful now. Right, yes, by golly, there is Dover in a dungeon under the temple. I must get to him. Down, down. Thank heavens there are no natives around the entrance. Now to get in. Oh, this stone door's solid, all right. But it can't stand up against Superman. There we are. Now down these steps, fast. Along this corridor. There's the dungeon up ahead. The natives guarding it. Faster. Look at them run, scared to death. It's a good thing I won't have to stop and fight them. Here we are. There's Dover lying on the floor in the dungeon. Looks as if he's done for. Ripping out this iron door ought to be easy. Hope I'm not too late. Dover. Major Dover.
It's Clark Kent, Major.
Kent?
Yes.
Kent, where am I?
You're in a dungeon underneath the Temple of Warriors. The high priest captured you.
Quemado?
Yes.
Kent, we're done for. He's got us both.
He didn't get me. I've come to take you out of here.
How did you get in?
The stone entrance door wasn't completely closed. Can you walk, Major?
I guess so. I'll try.
All right. We'll have to hurry. There were some natives guarding this dungeon, but I chased them away.
Listen. Kent, it's too late. The priests are coming, and they're the most bloodthirsty members of the tribe. We're trapped.
We can make it if we run.
It's no use. They're coming from both directions. Oh, I'm sorry I got into this, Kent.
They haven't got us yet. Major, look! Look at that wall. A section swinging out.
And this is the end. The priests are coming through a secret passage.
Dover, look! Someone is beckoning to us from behind that secret door. Come on.
No, Kent, no. Keep back. It's a trick.
Trapped in an underground dungeon beneath the ruins of an ancient Mayan city deep in the Central American jungle, Clark Kent and Major Dover hesitate. Closer and closer come the fierce native priests, howling for revenge. There is only one way of escape, through the secret door. But who can tell what danger is lurking there in the shadows? What will Kent and Major Dover do? Tune in next time and follow this exciting story of perilous jungle adventure with Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, valiant fighter for truth and justice, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, possessed of physical powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who champions the weak and the oppressed in his guise of Clark Kent, star reporter for the Daily Planet. With Major Evans Dover, noted explorer and archaeologist, and his pilot, Jack Corboy, Clark Kent flew down to the ruins of an ancient Mayan city in the heart of the Central American jungle on an exploring trip. But after a native high priest had attempted to kill the Major, Kent learned that the real purpose of the expedition was to obtain the remains of the goddess Ashta, a mummy hundreds of years old, but reputed to have the appearance of a living woman who was only asleep. Then Dover was captured by the high priest, Quemado, and Kent, assuming the blue costume and red cape of Superman, fought his way to the dungeon where the explorer was imprisoned. When escape seemed cut off, a section of the dungeon wall swung out, and a shadowy figure beckoned. But Dover refused to enter the secret passageway, fearing a trap. As our story continues today, Kent and the Major are still hesitating, in spite of the fact that a horde of natives, intent upon the death of the two white men, are swarming down on them along the underground corridors. Listen.
We've got to take a chance on that secret door, Major. We're doomed if we don't. Come on.
Blimey, you blokes had better hurry, too.
Who's that, Kent?
It's me, and I'm trying to help you. Quick now.
It's someone friendly. Come on, Major.
Right.
If that was a narrow squeeze, mates, another half-minute and they'd have had you both, they would.
Who are you?
Where did you come from?
Shut your head until we gets going. Mind your step now and follow me.
Where are you taking us?
Back to me hut in the village, I hopes. We'll be all right so long as we're in this blooming secret tunnel, but we'll have to look sharp when we leave it. Now, you wanted to know who I am and where I comes from, eh?
That's right.
Well, my name's Albert Andrew Wellington Plimson, called Bert, and I hails from merry old England, I does.
What are you doing down here in the jungle?
I'm most high counselor to His Majesty Chief Tasso. How'd you like that one?
Counselor to Tasso? Since when?
11 years, matey.
Wait a minute, Kent. I knew this was a trick.
A trick?
Yes, this man is lying. If he'd been down here 11 years, I would have seen him or known about him when I was here before.
Oh, no, you wouldn't, me Arthur. When you was digging among the ruins afore, I kept out of sight in me hut next to the chief's.
Why?
'Cause I'm a deserter from His Majesty's Navy. And I keeps under cover when there's strangers about.
Oh.
Does that ease your mind, Major Dover?
Why, he even knows your name, Major.
Blooming well right I does. Come on, lads. You've got to hurry if we're going to beat Quemado and his band of cutthroats to the exit of this tunnel.
How did you know we were in the dungeon?
It's old Bertie's business to know everything what goes on around the village and the ruins. Else how could I counsel His Highness, the chief?
Did you know Quemado tried to kill us before?
Of course I did. So I says to myself, says I, if you wants them blokes to help you, Bertie, you'd better off to it. So here I am, and here you are, and away we go.
Help you? In what way?
Chief Tasso needs the helping hands and the willing hearts of a couple of brave lads like you. He's got a problem, he has.
What kind of a problem?
A little score to settle with your bloodthirsty friend, Quemado. And seeing as how you got one to settle too, I thought we might join forces.
In that case, you can count on Kent and myself. What do you want us to do?
All in good time, Major. Right now, we've got to get out of this with our old skins.
What's the matter?
We're at the exit of this here tunnel, and there's natives outside.
How do you know?
Didn't you hear that hoot owl? It's a signal the coming priest use. Keep your mouth shut and don't move. You see, I knows all them little tricks. Listen. See, there's native guards outside, all right. You can't. They are gorgeous. Ah, there you is. Blimey, the beggar recognized me, and I had to hit him.
What does that mean?
Means the rest will be coming. We've got a fight on our hands.
How many are there?
Ain't no telling. They don't know how many we are, neither. Look out, the lads. Here they come. Get to them, lads. The everlasting glory of the British Empire and Chief Tasso.
Oh, Dover! Major Dover! Bert, the Major's down.
I can't help him. I've got my own hands full.
There goes Bert.
Well, it's high time for Superman to take over. How do you like that? And that? And that? Oh, you think a knife can hurt Superman, do you? Well, try it. Are there any more of you? Well, looks like that's over. Now let's have a look at the Major and Bert. Now they're both out cold. I guess the only thing to do is carry them back to the village. Well, one under each arm. So. And there we are. Now to the exit. And up. 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 And away.
Soaring out over the jungle, red cape streaming in the wind, Superman heads for the village with the limp forms of Bert and Major Dover under each arm. Arriving at the native quarter, Superman carries his unconscious companions to Bert's hut. Bathing their cuts and bruises, he places them on sleeping mats and himself stretches out for a welcome rest. Early the following evening, Dover, Kent, and Bert, still in the latter's hut, are talking quietly. Listen.
But what gets me, Mr. Kent, is how you ever got away from that fighting mob of heathens. Certainly, it's a blooming miracle, it is.
Well, you see, Bert, it wasn't nearly as difficult as it sounds. There were so many of them, and it was so dark that they soon got to fighting with one another, and I slipped away in the confusion, dragging you two out with me.
You got your pokes in regular, I'll wager.
I guess I must have gone down right at the beginning.
Yes, you did, Major. And then Bert went out. As for me, I was just lucky.
Maybe it was luck. Maybe it was knowing how to handle your dukes. Anyhow, you're the lads for Chief Tasso.
You never did tell us what Tasso wants done, Bert.
That's right. Well, in a nutshell, he wants to put that swab Quemado out of business.
You're talking to the wrong people if you mean murder.
Who said anything about murder? All Tasso wants is to whittle him down to boy's size. Quemado's got too powerful for the chief's liking.
Oh, that's different.
You see, they've been fighting to get the best of each other for years. About 2 years ago, it looked like Tasso had the high priest lashed to the mast. And then he pulled a blooming rabbit right out of the hat.
How do you mean?
Performed a miracle, he did.
What?
Seen it with my own eyes.
What sort of a miracle?
Well, at a religious ceremony in the Temple of Ashtar.
The temple of the goddess Ashtar?
Right. Well said. Quemado, he resurrected the mummy of the goddess, which all these blokes worships. And he made her rise up from her couch where she'd laid for centuries. And blimey, was she a beauty.
But such a thing is impossible, man.
That's what I said to myself. But he done it. And since then, Quemado's been the #1 bloke of the tribe.
I don't believe it, Bert.
You don't, eh? Well, you just wait here, half a mo, and I'll see if Tasso's in his hut. He can tell you the same thing. You wait right here, see? Kent, it's true.
But how can such a thing be true, Major?
I don't know, but it is. You've heard this amazing tale from an eyewitness, Kent.
It's incredible.
We've got to find out from Bert where the temple is. Once we know that, the battle's half won.
What's happened so far, I'd say that when we find out where the temple is, the battle's only begun.
We've got to be careful not to arouse any suspicions in Bert's mind about what we're after.
Right.
He's a tough-looking customer, and if he's been down here for 11 years, he'll be on the side of the chief.
I'll let you do most of the talking. You can convince him that...
Hey, old Tasso's gone somewhere. I couldn't find him. But he'll tell you straight when you sees him.
Where is this temple of Ashtar, Bert? Never heard about it when I was down here before.
Yeah, you wouldn't. It's sacred to the natives, and I guess I'm the only white man what's ever been near it, let alone in it.
How does that happen?
Well, you see, I was adopted like by the tribe. And besides, being Tasso's right-hand man, so to speak, where he goes, I goes.
I'd certainly like to see that temple of Ashtar, but from what you said, I suppose that's impossible.
No, it ain't, matey. You see, what Tasso wants from you is help in solving the mystery of Quemado's miracle. And to do that, I've got to get you two inside the temple.
Really? You'd really get us in?
Sure. You see, the Temple of Ashtar's built on a blooming island, surrounded by a lake in the middle of the jungle.
Oh, then the temple isn't among the other ruins.
Right, me now. Entirely away from them. And you'd never be able to find it unless you was guided there. And even then, you'd never be able to get across the lake.
Why not?
Because the lake's filled with hundreds of man-eating crocodiles, that's why.
Crocodiles? Well, how do the natives get to the temple for the ceremonials?
There's a road leading from the shore to the temple, but it can only be used when the lake's half drained. And the only ones who know how to drain the blooming lake's the high priest and his assistant.
You mean to say Tasso, the chief, doesn't know?
No. Now, where you two comes in is to get to the temple somehow and find out first how his nibs draws off the water. Then you got to have a look at the goddess.
That's a man-sized order, Bert.
Strike me if it ain't. I can't do it alone, but with you two, swelp me, I think it can be managed. But it won't be no child's play, and there's plenty of danger.
Well, I'm for lending a hand. How about you, Kent?
You bet.
Yeah, it's the spirit, me boys, and you won't be sorry. For as I promises you, old Tasso will give you a free hand with Kimado's treasure chests. Why, you never seen so much gold, and so many bleeding diamonds and rubies and... Blimey, what's that?
Those were shots from an automatic.
It is cowboy shooting. Something's wrong.
Look at the doorway here. The sky's all red.
What? Good heavens, Kent, that blows from the river bank where the plane is moored.
Are you sure?
Yes. Cowboy's either trying to summon help or he's being attacked.
Come on, lads, and we'll see what's happening.
Major, if anything happens to the plane, how will we ever leave this place?
We never will, Kent. Never.
Just when it seems that Clark Kent and Major Dover are on the road to the discovery of the amazing secret of the goddess Ashta, a new menace appears. What is happening to Corboy and the Major's plane, without which they cannot escape to civilization alive? Tune in next time and follow this exciting story of perilous jungle adventure with Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky! Look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, valiant fighter for truth and justice who came to Earth from the planet Krypton. Superman, who can travel faster than a rocket, leap tall buildings, bend giant steel girders with his bare hands, and who goes about among men disguised as mild-mannered Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. Kent, who joined the flying expedition of Major Evans Dover to the Central American jungle as a vacation trip, has finally found that the expedition is not for the purpose of uncovering further Mayan ruins. Major Evans confessed to Kent that his true purpose is to obtain the remains of the goddess Ashta, a sacred mummy hundreds of years old, but said to have retained the appearance of a living woman who is only asleep. 3 times Kamado, high priest of the tribe which worships the goddess Ashta, has tried to do away with the 2 white men. The last time they were rescued from an underground temple dungeon by a Cockney deserter from the British Navy who acts as counselor to Tasso, the tribal chief. Bert, as the Cockney calls himself, then asked Major Dover and Kent to help Chief Tasso oust the high priest Kamado from power. This they quickly agreed to do when Bert told them that in return he would lead them to the secret temple of the goddess Ashta. But while discussing the plan in Bert's village hut, gunshots were heard, and the 3 rushed out to discover that the Major's plane was apparently on fire. If we join them now, they are starting for the river where the plane is moored. Listen.
This way, lads. Follow me.
Major Dover, you go on with Bert.
What are you going to do, Kent?
I'll try to get some natives to help us.
All right, but for heaven's sake, hurry. If our plane is destroyed, we'll never get out of this place alive.
Okay. I'll join you in a few minutes.
Yeah, with those 2 out of sight, Superman can make better speed than Clark Kent ever could. And speed is important now. Up, and away! Faster, faster. I'll need a few minutes to work in before Dover and Bert get to the river. Ah, there's the river. Great Scott. The plane isn't on fire at all. It's surrounded by a circle of flames. Corboy must have set that fire himself to keep the natives away from the plane. Ah, and there he is, lying on the wing, unconscious. Faster, faster. Through these flames. They can't burn Superman. Ah, here we are. Poor Corboy must have been knocked out by a spear. Here, carry him into the cabin and get this plane up before the flames set it on fire. Uh-oh. He's coming to. Better change back to Clark Kent.
What?
Take it easy, Corboy. In we go.
Kent, oh, my head. Where'd you come from? Where's Major Dover?
Never mind that now. Can you handle these controls?
Oh, hang it, I've twisted my arm. Kent, I set that fire in the water to save the ship, and now it's going to burn it up.
Not if I can prevent it. Where's the starter?
That button there below the bank and turn indicator.
Good.
What are you going to do? You can't fly this ship, man.
Oh, yes, I can. You'll help me with your one good hand. We'll shoot right through that break there in the flames.
Okay, kid. If you're game, I am. Let's go.
Right. I didn't think we'd make it for a minute. If this ship had really caught on fire, we'd have been goners.
You sure would. Hey, what are we going to do now?
Well, we'll just fly around a bit until those gasoline flames on the water burn themselves out. Hey, what on earth happened?
A bunch of natives were after me. Some of the high priest's men, I think.
What had you done to them? Why should they want to attack you?
I don't know. I was just doing a little exploring in the jungle near the river.
Looking for anything in particular?
No, I just wanted some exercise. Anyhow, all of a sudden, I came to a sort of clearing, and what do you think I saw?
Not the temple of the goddess Ashta.
No, I think that's a myth. But what I saw definitely wasn't a myth. It was the wreckage of an airplane.
Of an airplane?
Yes, sir. I started looking over, but before I could get anywhere, a bunch of natives came leaping through the brush, brandishing spears and shrieking like mad.
Well, I wonder what brought that on.
I don't know, and I didn't wait to find out. I beat it down the river and paddled back to the plane. Then when I saw another bunch of wild-eyed natives coming after me, I got some cans of gas and dumped it on the water around the ship.
And then set fire to it. Swell idea.
Yeah, but it nearly didn't work. Just as I climbed back on the wing and started shooting to signal you and Major Dover, a flock of spears came flying through the air, and one of them must have knocked me out.
Something mighty queer about all this. I'd like to get a look at that wrecked plane, Corboy. Bet there's a good story behind it.
Now, don't let any of the natives catch you around it, Kent. They must regard it as a sacred relic or some such thing the way they went after me.
Look, Corboy.
Yeah?
Isn't that Major Dover down there on the riverbank?
Sure is. Old Chief Tasso's with him. Say, looks like he's making signs at the natives in the war canoes.
Yeah, that's right. They're all starting for the shore.
Hey, wait a minute. Who's that other white man with Major Evans and Tasso?
Oh, that's Bert. He rescued the Major and me from a gang of Kamato's priests who had us cornered in a temple chamber. He's a Cockney, deserter from the British Navy, and now right-hand man to Chief Tasso.
That sounds like an interesting character.
Yeah.
Look, fire's burned itself out. Guess we can go in for a landing now.
Okay. Give me a hand again.
Easy now. Careful. That's swell. Kent, you're not a bad pilot.
Thanks, Corboy. Oh, say, I'll ask Bert about that wrecked plane. He'll know something about it.
Now, let me know the first chance you get.
Oh, aren't you coming ashore?
No, not me. Stuck my neck out once, and that's enough. From now on, I'm going to stay right with this ship. Hey, look, we've drifted right up the shore.
Oh, good. Take her back to midstream after I jump ashore. I'll ask Chief Tasso to put some of his own guards on the bank to watch the plane and see that the high priest's men don't bother you.
That'll be swell. And thanks a lot, fella, for pulling me out of a tight spot.
Oh, forget it. See you later.
Is Corboy in the plane?
Yes, he's taxiing back to midstream.
Oh, I just wanted to know that he's all right.
Yes, he's all right.
Hey, what's happening here?
Some of the natives attacked Corboy. What was the idea of that, Chief?
Not Tasso's men. Quemados.
Tasso didn't know nothing about it, he didn't.
That's right, Kent. Tasso joined us as we ran through the village.
Oh?
He was the one who ordered the war canoes back to the bank. What in heaven's name happened?
I'll tell you about that later. First, I've got a question to ask. Bert, do you or Tasso know anything about a wrecked plane around here?
Wrecked plane?
Yes.
What are you talking about, Kent?
Well, Corboy has discovered the wreckage of a plane hidden in the jungle near the river.
Oh, that one. Viracochus bird, Tasso. Lord, lummy, that fell a couple of years ago, mate.
Well, what happened to the pilot? Was he killed in the crash?
Swelp me, he was never found. I was up the river when it happened. But Tasso was here.
Man no come out Iron Bird.
He means the pilot wasn't in the plane. The blighter must have jumped out when it started to fall, landed in the jungle somewhere, and croaked.
Oh, that's possible. But why should Kimado's men try to kill Corboy because he was looking at the wreckage?
You got me there, boy. We got something more important to talk about in a blinking wrecked plane. Sonny, we're all going to the Temple of Ashta.
We are? When?
Tomorrow night. There's to be a conclave of the tribal council and the priest of the Temple of Ashta.
Yes, and of course Tasso and his faithful Bertie's got to go.
But I don't see how
Bert says the Lake of the Crocodiles will be drained enough so the road can be used.
Oh.
Yes, and you two lads will cross over to the temple as nice as you please.
But won't the road be guarded?
Of course it will be, but I got a plan I have.
Yes?
When the moon comes up, you'll...
Bert, isn't that Kimado coming along the path from the village?
What? Strike me if it ain't. Hey, you blokes go back to your camp, and I'll visit you tomorrow and tell you what's to be done.
Right.
And mind you, keep a weather eye out for any of Kimado's men who might be prowling around.
Don't worry. We will.
The following night, huddled in the jungle shadows at the edge of the clearing which surrounds the Lake of the Crocodiles and the Temple of Ashta, Major Dover, Clark Kent, Chief Tasso listen attentively, while Bert the Cockney whispers final instructions.
And mind, wife, what I'm a-telling of you. I'll pass the guard at this end of the road and cross over.
Yes?
Then, when I'm well on my way, Tessa will start. When he gets up to the guard, he'll knock the blighter out. Then you two comes on the double.
Right.
From there on, it's easy sailing until we gets in the temple.
And won't there be any guard at the entrance to the temple, Bert?
He'll be inside. And Mr. Kent and I will take care of him when you get sober. All right. Here I goes. Mind what I told you now.
You think it's going to work, Tasso?
Look. White guard, pass guard. We go now. Get ready.
Tasso. Suppose you can't overpower that guard. Shall we come out and help you?
Tasso need no help.
Kent, they've really fixed things.
I wonder. You know, Major, this whole thing looks too smooth for me.
You mean you think we're being double-crossed?
No, not exactly that, but... Look, Major, I'm going to play a hunch.
What are you talking about? What are you going to do?
Tasso's almost up to the guard now. When he socks him, you go ahead without me.
Then what will you do?
I can't stop to tell you now. Look, Tasso's knocked the guard out. Get going.
But Kent,
You've got to trust me, Major. Now, go on, please. I'll follow in a few minutes. The road will be unguarded, and I can make it all right.
But what will I tell Tasso and Bert?
Oh, well, tell them anything that comes to your mind. But hurry, man, hurry.
Well, all right.
Where other white man?
He hurt himself. Said for us to go on.
Other white man afraid. We go.
Did Bert get across, Tasso?
He go in temple.
Tasso, look at the water.
What white chief see?
It's rising, Tasso. The lake's filling up again.
Kimado trap us.
Kent was right. We've been double-crossed. Kent! Help!
Kent and Chief Tasso were trapped in the middle of the Lake of the Crocodiles that surrounds the temple of the goddess Ashta. Slowly but surely the water is rising, and the ugly black snouts of the man-eating monsters push through the water toward the narrow road, which will be covered before Dover and Tasso can reach the land ahead or behind. And where is Kent? What is he doing? Only Superman can save these two, yet Kent cannot reveal his other identity to Dover. What will happen? Tune in next time and follow this exciting story of perilous jungle adventure with Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman! And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed. Superman, who travels with the speed of light, but who walks about among human beings disguised as mild-mannered Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. At the moment, Kent and Major Evans Dover, noted archaeologist, and his pilot, Jack Corboy, are deep in the heart of the Central American jungle, searching for the remains of the goddess Ashta, a sacred Mayan mummy hundreds of years old that is rumored to have retained the appearance of a living woman who is only asleep. Bert, a Cockney deserter from the British Navy who was advisor to Tasso, the tribal chief, has promised Kent and Dover to lead them to the secret temple of Ashta, where the sacred mummy lies, a temple ruled over by Kamado, the villainous high priest. When we last saw them, Kent, Major Dover, and Chief Tasso were setting out to cross to the temple by a road running through the half-drained Lake of the Crocodiles, which surrounds the temple of Ashta. At the last moment, however, Kent told the Major to go on without him, insisting that he was playing a hunch. A few minutes later, when Tasso and Dover were halfway across the lake, it started filling up, and they seemed doomed to a terrible death. As our story opens today, we join Kent, who is changed to Superman. He crouches in the jungle underbrush, watching Dover start on the narrow path to join Chief Tasso for the journey across the Lake of the Crocodiles. Listen.
I suppose Dover thinks I'm afraid to go with him to the temple. But it can't be helped. Superman has some checking up to do first. It shouldn't take but a few minutes. Up, and away! Now, over the jungle to locate that wrecked plane Corboy saw. There isn't much time. Faster! Ah, there it is. Now, down! It's a wrecked plane, all right. Now, let's see if I can find any identifying marks. I'll just lift this wing up. By George, my hunch was right. It's the plane I thought it was. Now, back to the village to check on one thing more. Up, and away! Faster, there's no time to lose. I've got to get back to the temple before Dover and Tasso and Bert enter it. Now, there's the village. Down. Yes, this is the right hut. I hope there's no one inside. In we go. Oh, so we did leave a guard, eh? Drop that spear.
Come on.
Fool, spears can't hurt me.
Come on.
Okay, if you want to fight. Now, do you want some more?
No.
All right, then get up.
Me go.
Oh, and bring some more natives? Oh, no, you don't. Where's the key to that chest in the corner there?
Key? No understand.
All right, I'll break the chest open with my hands. There. Now, let's see. Here we are. Just what I was looking for. Flying helmet, goggles, gloves. But where's the... wait. Sounds like Dover calling for help. Unless my super hearing deceives me, Dover and Tasso are in danger. No time to search further. I must get to them. Up, and away! There they are. Great Scott, they're on the road leading across the Lake of the Crocodiles, and the lake's filling up. Faster, I've got to save them.
With the speed of light, Superman streaks above the jungle for the Temple of Ashta. With his super sight, he spots a native within the temple working with the lever. Crashing through the temple walls, the man of steel claws his way to the native. Hurling him away from the lever, Superman reverses it violently. Suddenly, the beast-infested waters of the Lake of the Crocodiles stop rising. Then they begin to recede. Watching for a moment to be sure that Dover and Chief Tasso can continue on to the temple in safety, Superman streaks out of the temple. Presently, he emerges from the jungle underbrush on the opposite side as Clark Kent and runs swiftly across the sunken road to join Major Dover and Tasso.
Oh, I was afraid you'd get in the temple before I got here.
Kent, where in heaven's name have you been?
Major, I thought I heard some natives moving around back of us when we were at the edge of the clearing. And I wanted to investigate.
White man, see my tribesmen?
No, I guess I was mistaken. But, Major, why were you calling for help?
Kent, Tasso and I came within an ace of being devoured by the crocodiles.
Great heavens. What happened?
When the chief and I got halfway across the lake, it started to fill up.
Well, what did you do?
Just as the level of the water rose to the edge of the road, and the crocodiles were beginning to snap their awful jaws, it stopped, and then began to drop.
I wonder what caused that.
I don't know. Tasso thought Kamado had trapped us, but it couldn't have been that.
Kamado tried to kill Tasso and White Chief.
Where's Bert?
I don't know. Seems to have disappeared.
Maybe him in temple. We go.
Oh, wait a minute, Tasso. Suppose we run into more guards.
This entrance, secret tunnel to inner temple. No guard.
I hope you're right, Chief.
You know the way, Tasso. You'd better go first. Kent, we're going to see the goddess at last.
I hope we are. But we're not in that inner temple yet.
But we're going... Hold it.
What's the matter?
Tasso's stopped. Someone's coming.
Come. Lola. When you can speak.
It's Bert.
Come on. Oh, yes. The way's clear.
Quemado in temple.
Quemado? Why, of course, Tasso.
Quemado, no white man with us.
Nah, Quemado hasn't an idea that you blokes is anywhere around. Now then, let's shove off. I'll lead the way. Now, first of all, I wants to show you lads the blooming goddess.
Where is she, Bert?
In the inner temple. You never saw a sight like it before, I'll wager. Lord, lemme, the King of England ain't got such a place.
Too bad we haven't got a camera with us.
Mind these turns along here.
How far do we have to go before... Listen, Kent.
Good Lord! What was that?
Sounded like rocks crashing down. Tasso, Bert!
What's wrong?
Come here, quick. Call Bert.
Come.
Major, the whole tunnel's caved in behind us.
Quemado.
It's completely blocked. Where's Bert?
I don't know. I called him, but he must have been around some of the turns in the tunnel, because he hasn't answered.
We'd better hurry and catch him then. How do I do it? Major Dover!
There's another cave-in. It's up ahead this time.
That means we're trapped in this tunnel.
Tasso, are there any other ways out?
No.
Poor Bert. That cave-in ahead must have buried him alive.
Look, we've got to dig ourselves out of here some way. The air in this place won't last an hour.
We die.
Oh, no, we won't. We'll get out of this some way. Dover, you and Tasso go back and see if there's any chance of breaking through the cave-in in back of us.
What are you going to do?
I'm going up ahead and see what that one looks like. But we've got to work fast. Get going.
Right. But I'm afraid it's a hopeless task.
Can't dig through rock.
Yeah, while they're working on that rear cave-in, they can't see me up here, and Superman can go to work on the front one. I wonder if it did catch Bert, or if... Oh, boy, what a mass of rock. This will be a job. One cave-in could have been an accident, but two, that's deliberate. That was a big one. Now we're getting someplace. There, I'm through. A few more rocks out of the way, and there'll be room enough for us to crawl through. Now to call Dover and Tasso. Major Dover! Major Dover!
What is it, Kent?
You and Tasso, come on. Never mind the other cave-in. I've broken through this one.
Kent, an opening. How on earth did you do it?
And those two big rocks must have jammed and formed some sort of a bridge which held back the rest of the big rocks. It wasn't hard at all to loosen them.
What about Bert?
Well, he must have just escaped it. All right, let's crawl through.
Why? We're at the end of the tunnel.
Inner temple. Through door there.
The inner temple.
Oh, lavish, you wasn't trapped.
Bert, you escaped then.
Blinking tunnel fell in so close behind me, near took off the seat of my pants. Spoke me, I thought it was done for. But God be praised, you're here.
Yes, we were very lucky.
Come on then, me hearties, and have a look at her highness, the goddess Esther, in her throne room. Here now.
Why, it's unbelievable. Kent, did you ever see such a hall?
No, I never did.
Silver and gold, them blooming walls is, and the hangings is cloth woven out of pure gold. There's a king's ransom 10 times over in this place, there is.
Bert, where's the conclave of the tribal council and the priests? I thought it was being held in here.
What? Oh, no. They're chewing the cud in a room above this one. Tasso and me's going up there as soon as we hide you and the major.
Bert, where is the goddess Ashtar?
On a couch behind them hangings. Come on over and I'll show it to you.
Bert, you said something about hiding us.
That's right, mate. I've got a nice little hiding place for you until after the Iron Mucky Max has left the temple. Then there'll be work for us to do. Pull back the hangings, Tasso, and show the lads a sight.
Kent, look.
Quit, Doxon. Ashtar.
She's beautiful. Kent, I can't believe my eyes. It's true. She's centuries old, but she only seems to be asleep.
Getting close and have a good look at her, boys.
Kent. Bert. Look. Ashta. She's opening her eyes. Good heavens.
Let me see.
Touch her if you like. She won't bite you. Go ahead. I'll be with you in a minute.
Bert, wait. That isn't a mummy, and you know it. Major Dover, listen. I told you there was something fishy about this.
Back, Ken! What's back? The floor is giving way!
Falling out from under us!
What happened to Kent and Dover and Tasso as they gazed at the amazing mummy of the goddess Ashta? Is this the scheming Kamado's final effort to finish off the two white men, and Tasso as well? And what is the secret of the goddess Ashta? What strange sorcery made the eyelids of the centuries-old princess seem to flutter? What is the fate of Dover and Kent? Tune in next time for the thrilling climax of this exciting story of perilous jungle adventure with Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky. Look.
It's a bird.
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Up in the sky. Look.
It's a bird.
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, champion of the weak and the oppressed, who came to Earth from the planet Krypton before it was destroyed by quakes and fire. Superman, faster than a bullet speeding to its target, stronger than the fabled Samson, who goes about his daily tasks on Earth disguised as mild-mannered Clark Kent, news reporter for the Daily Planet. When we last saw them, Kent and Major Dover, on an excavation trip among the Mayan ruins of Central America, had gotten their first glimpse of what they were told was the centuries-old Mayan goddess Ashta, who appeared to be, to their startled eyes, merely a beautiful girl asleep. Then, as they crowded close to the couch upon which Ashta was lying, her eyelids began to flutter. When Kent turned toward Bert, the Cockney advisor to Chief Tasso, with an accusation on his lips, the floor suddenly gave way, and Kent, Dover, and Chief Tasso were plunged into the blackness below. As we continue our story today, a few minutes have elapsed. In a room adjoining the ceremonial hall, Kamado, the murderous high priest, resplendent in his robes and headdress of office, is hastily transferring piles of precious stones and gold images into several open chests. Suddenly, the door of the room creaks open. Listen.
Well, it's all finished and done with, Commander Miarte. You can take off that headdress now. They won't be coming around.
You are for sure, amigo? These Kent and Dover have escaped our traps before.
They won't this time. They're in the room below the altar, and there's nothing but solid walls around them.
Bueno. We are ready to get going. I waited a long time for this moment.
You've done a blooming good job, too, Kimado. Now then, you got the jewels all stowed?
Si.
Good. After the ceremonial, we'll cart the chests down to the river and load them aboard Dover's plane.
How you do this thing, amigo?
I'll send a native out to the pilot with a message that Dover wants him. When he comes ashore, he's conked.
Si. And are we going to get the senorita to the plane?
Ashta?
Si.
She ain't going with us, Kimado.
And why not?
We can't be bothered with no feminine. We'll let her come awake and leave her here. The natives will think their goddess has come to life and she can live like a blooming queen.
But I have other plans, my friend.
Now, what do you mean, other plans?
When Quimado gets to Mexico, the beautiful goddess will become his wife.
Oh, no, she won't, Miarte. She goes free, and Albert Andrew Wellington Plimpson's just the bloke to see that she does.
And I say she will be my wife. I have fallen in love with her, and when we go, she is mine.
Not a chance, I say, matey.
So? Maybe these will help convince you.
Put that knife away, you swine.
Does she go with me?
No.
Well, now, are you like for this, then?
There, so you tried to stab me, but you ungrateful whelp.
Is your life or mine?
Let go of that knife. Let it go.
Oh.
Now, then I'll show you. Now, that it does to him what crosses him.
Oh.
It'll lay you out for a while, and I'll settle with you later. Now, then, I got work to do. Who's there? What do you want?
Open that door, Bert.
Who's calling my name? Oh, bless my soul, who are you? What's that costume you're wearing? Where did you come from?
Never mind who I am.
And what you used to break down that door with?
My bare hands, Bert.
Oh, yes? Let's see what you can do against a real man, me hearty. Ow! Oh! Blimey, what are you made of? Stone?
Never mind that, you dirty double-crosser. Come here.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to turn you over to the natives, and they can do what they please with you.
No, I won't go to you. Get away from me. Keep back, I tell you. Keep back, or I'll...
You what? What will you do?
All right. I'll give in. The game's up.
The game was up before this. I know the trick of your fake goddess.
Oh, it does it? How could you know that?
I had a look at that wrecked plane in the jungle, and I could still make out the white rose insignia of the lost round-the-world flyer, Betty Chase. She's your goddess, Ashta.
You're right. That's who she is.
How did you work it, Bert? How did you manage to palm off Betty Chase as the goddess Ashta for 2 years?
Oh, I suppose I might as well tell you. Seeing as how I can't lick you.
That's right. I'm sorry, Bert, but...
Don't waste your sympathy on me. I hate you for spoiling my little game. And we ain't quits yet.
All right, Bert. But tell me about Betty Chase. Did you use some secret embalming fluid to preserve her body?
She ain't dead, you swab.
What?
For 2 years, she's been kept in a state of suspended animation with some herbs the high priest had and guarded by native women. They fed it to her twice a day.
Good heavens, man. You mean she didn't die when her plane crashed?
Nah. Me and Kimado rescued her.
So you and the high priest were partners, eh?
Partners? Why, the blighter was an escaped convict from New Guinea. I picked him out of the river 6 years ago, then knocked off the real native high priest and put Kimado in his place. With an headdress on, he fooled them all, he did.
A fine pair you two made.
We did all right till you come. Anyway, Kimado and me was coming through the jungle one day when a plane flying overhead suddenly crashed into the tree.
The plane's just crashed in the jungle. She's nearly fallen.
It's down here in the clearing. Come on, Kimado. Lord, lummy, what a cracker.
It's the pilot over here in these brush.
Come on. Well, strike me, think it's a woman.
Oh, Dios. A beautiful senorita.
Yes, and she ain't dead, Kimado. Ain't even scratched, she ain't. That's got the blooming wind knocked out on her.
Amigo, I have wonderful plan.
Yes, what?
From long time ago, I have discovered a herb which keep people asleep but do not harm them.
Well, what of it?
The senorita. We take her to the temple and give her this herb. Then we hide Ashta's mummy and put the senorita in her place. We tell the natives we have resurrected Ashta, and then they think we have performed miracles.
Oh, well, lummy, Kimado, you're a blooming genius, you are.
Then we have supreme power over these natives. We get the gold and treasure, and when the time she's come, we vamoose.
Right as rain, Kimado, me hearty.
Come, eat her up. Carry her back to the temple.
There you are. How'd you like that for a scheme?
It's unbelievable.
But that ain't all. I'll have the last laugh on you yet.
What do you mean?
You'll never get out of this place alive. The blooming natives will kill you when they find you've violated the sacred temple.
I'll take a chance on that.
Yes? Well, what are you going to do with him what's coming?
Where?
Look, through that door. Look.
Come back here, Bert. You can't get away from...
Bert! Bert!
Heavens, he's fallen on that knife. Oh, too bad. Gone, poor fellow. Well, perhaps it's better that way. Good heavens. That must be Betty Chase in the ceremonial hall. She's come to. I'll have to get to her before she tries to get out of the temple. I must change back to Clark Kent.
Help! Help!
Miss Chase! Miss Chase, it's all right.
Where am I?
Who are you? I'm Clark Kent, a friend, believe me.
I never saw you before. What am I doing in this?
Look, Miss Chase, you've been through a horrible experience, but I can't stop to explain it all now. We've got to get out of here. We're in terrible danger. Will you trust me, please?
This is some horrible nightmare, but I'll trust you.
Kent, where are you? The temple is got... Good heavens, Kent. The goddess Ashta. Am I crazy?
Major, this is Betty Chase, the round-the-world flyer who disappeared 2 years ago. She was kept in a state of suspended animation and substituted for the mummy of Ashta.
Look, Kent, this is no time for tricks or jokes. The natives have surrounded the temple, and they're out of control. They're dragging trees to the shore of the lake so they can get across. Who is this?
I really am Betty Chase, but...
Where is Tasso,
He's
Major?
outside, tried to pacify the tribe, but it's no go.
Major, listen to me. Take Miss Chase and go up to the roof of the temple. Now, don't stop to ask why. There's only one chance of saving your lives, and it's going to take a lot of courage, but you can do it. Now go and wait there.
Right, Kent. Come on, Miss Chase.
Kent, changing to Superman, flies with the speed of light out of the temple into the Major's plane. He drops down to the river and, changing back to Kent, climbs aboard the ship. And while the pilot gets the plane started, Kent attaches 2 rope ladders to the wings. Then the plane roars up from the river, the 2 ladders dangling below it, and heads for the Temple of Ashta.
Have you got your landing lights on, Jack?
Yeah, but man alive, it's going to be some trick for the Major and Miss Chase to grab those rope ladders when I fly over the temple.
I know. Throttle the ship down to its lowest flying speed, and I think they can make it.
Look, Kent, look.
What?
There they are on the temple roof.
Yes. And they see us. Look. Dover's clasping his hands at us. He knows what they're to do.
Am I low enough for the ladders to drag on the roof?
Just right, Jack. Easy. Easy. Now! Well, now that we're safe and comfortable in the plane, Miss Chase, you must be happy to be on their way back to America.
I am very happy. But tell me, Mr. Kent, how on earth did you and Major Dover happen to be here in Central America?
Well, it's this way, Miss Chase. I flew down with Major Dover on my vacation.
And so the expedition of Major Dover and Clark Kent turned out to be highly successful. They found the fabulous goddess Ashta, discovered she was Betty Chase, lost flyer, and brought her back to the United States. And Clark Kent scooped the world with his sensational story of finding the vanished round-the-world woman flyer. But even as the plane wings its way back to civilization, a far more dangerous adventure is waiting for the Star News reporter of the Daily Planet. Tune in next time and follow the amazing exploits of Superman. And remember, tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.